Good day and welcome to yet another training video. We always like reminding ourselves from where we stopped and kickstarting from exactly where we stopped to promote continuity and of course reliability and consistency. So on our previous section, we talked about large quarters, that is quarters, where we discussed how possible ways we could narrow price down, since we already justified the purpose that price fluctuates or price moves from one quarter point to the next quarter point. And we also know that according to quarters theory, that price there is nothing like a chaotic order in price, but rather that price moves from one quarter point to the next quarter point. Having justified that as a very basic knowledge, we decided to track price and split price into quarters by identifying a whole number zone that is 1,000 pips from price, and dividing those quarters, dividing those thousands into quarters into exactly 4 equal zones. This is what we talked about on the previous section. So if you missed that training, you could also go back to the YouTube page and to the YouTube channel and get acquainted to it. It is very important you do. Very important you do. So from that end, we're going to continue. All right. So basically, we are HFX trader. That is, we capitalize price or fluctuations in minutes and small particles or small units of price, that is in pips. All right. So pips is a major areas of capitalization. So since we are dividing price into its smaller basic units, and on the last section, we're able to move price from each 1,000 units and divided them into 4 equal parts. But then that is not enough. That is not just all we be doing. That is not all in the division of price into its smallest unit. So since according to quarters theory, price is splitted into its smallest terms, and then we know that price the financial market is not chaotic, but has a direction and also has a particular purpose. So we already know that price fluctuates from one point to another, that is in terms or in objective of completing with the objective of completing a quarter point. All right. So price moves from each quarter point to the next quarter point with the objective of completing it. And once price fails to complete a quarter point, it reverses back down to where it began. So it reverses back right to where it began. So on that premises, we want to establish another concept still in the dissemination of price, that is in the division of price. Excuse me, in the division of price. All right, so we have here, remember previously we talked about how we're able to move price from each quarter unit to the next. But today we'll be looking at this division of price on each 100 pip ranges. Remember the previous time we looked at price or division of price around the 1,000 area, around the 1,000 limit. But today we're looking at division of price or simplification of price within each 100 pip range, that is between the whole numbers and major small quarter points. All right. So we'll be splitting price between the whole numbers and the major quarter price. Remember that the fluctuation of price begins from 1. That is, begin from 1 and the 2, without price passing from the basic unit, that is the smallest term. You can call it the smallest, but it's not. We call it the basic. That's from the 1 unit. It cannot get to the 2nd unit. Neither will it get to the 3rd, to the 4th. All right. So with that price moving from 1, it cannot get to 100. That gets to 100. It cannot get to what? 250. All right, and it cannot get to 1,000. So from the basic unit, we have the progression of price, all right, moving up and then progressing to several other, reaching several other price heights and ranges. So today, previously we talked about 1,000 pip range in price, but today we'll be looking at what? 100 pip range in price, the fluctuation of price between the whole numbers and measure small quarter points. And then when we have whole numbers, and then we look at a small quarter point of 100, and then 25. So remember that under the whole number levels, we have when I mean whole numbers, remember that whole numbers can be in the large quarter point and can be in the whole number levels. Now, when we have whole numbers could be 100, 10, all right, 1,000, all right. So when we talk about a whole number, 1,000 whole number, we're looking at what? Numbers or figures in thousands. That is when we have 100 tens and units. Remember when you did 100 tens and units in primary schools and pre-nurseries, right? You talked about 100 figures under the 100 ranges, right? Then when we talked about 1,000, we talked about figures under the 1,000 ranges. Okay, so also it continues when you talk about millions, you talk about figures under the million ranges, right? So that is how it also runs in here. So when we talk about figures under the 1,000 ranges, we're looking at what? Price within those 100 ranges, all right? So from 1 to 100, right? That's what we're looking at, okay? So the last time we looked at figures under the 1,000 ranges. So we moved price from 1 to 1,000. So we concentrated our focus on what? On the quarter point of 1,000. That is dividing 1,000 into 4 equal parts that can give us easy accessibility to that same price. All right. So on today's terms, we're going to look at the 100 ranges. We're not looking at the 1,000 ranges. So we still divide the 100 ranges into the similar quarter levels. All right. So we pick out 100 range of price and divide them or simplify them into what? 4 equal parts or small equal parts that can be called quarters. All right. This is similar approach we followed doing on the 1,000 ranges. It's still the same, but then we're going we're simplifying price further. All right. So simplification of price has to do with the division of prices into each smaller times. Remember where the objective is to getting the list of price that is called pips. That is all right. Okay, I believe you're getting this introductory aspect of I want to develop, right? So being able to divide price into the smallest quarter gives you flexibility, gives you direction, gives you a direction of where price is going and where it is leaving from. Remember that in HFX, all you need is what? 1 pip above or below your entry price, or in favor of your of the market direction. So all you need is just 1 pip. So having that in mind gives you what? Gives you flexibility. So today we're looking at 100 pip range. I beg your pardon. So how do we look at 100 pip range? Remember also that we already established a base on price. We said that fluctuations of price, that each price begins at the quarter level and then ends at the next quarter level. And then we talked about quarters last previous section. We talked about quarters, and you know that quarter is a range between 250 and the next 250. So if we're talking about 1,000 pip, we bookmark 1,000 pip and look for the 4 quarters in it. Those 4 quarters, inside all of those 4 quarters begins a transaction in price and also ends a transaction in price. It is important you know this. Now, what we mean by quarters. Now, let's get into this real cool. Now, here we have 500. And remember that 500 is a quarter of 1,000. Remember, sorry, is a half of 1,000 and can also be a quarter. All right, can also be a quarter point. I need you to get this. 500 can also be a quarter point, can also be a half point, right? So if you have 500, remember that I mentioned before now that the key factor, the key way to knowing how to start in or where to start in your counting in the quarters theory is where price is. You will have to navigate and get to know where price is at the moment, where is price revolving at, right? Start from where price is revolving at, and then tracking it up to where you believe or you feel like it's going to. So here we have 500, and then the next quarter pip above here is going to be 750, isn't it? Like we did that, like we explained on the last section. So here we have 750, right? I'm going to make this another color. I'm going to make it let's say I'm going to make it red. Let me make it blue. No, let me make it this. All right, so we made it the other color. So now price is within this range, and remember the law of transaction, that price has direction and price has goal, price has agenda. In fact, in the course of this training, you would come to terms with how price fluctuates, the duration of price fluctuations in the financial market, or you attempt to know that our price has a time limit for each completion of a quarter pips or a quarter range. Now this is a quarter range from here, from this point to this point. So you understand to you know how the duration from this point to this point, how the maximum duration is going to take price to complete a movement from point A to point B, or on a downtrend from point A to point B downwards. So if we have a downtrend, we also locate 1,000 pip from here to the below pip, right? So if we have a downtrend, since we have 500, the next quarter pips from 500 should be what? 250, like we dealt with on our previous section. So we have 250 here, right? You mark it up. I could make that another color. Let me just use this gold. Sorry, that's not 250. I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. I want to locate 250 right now. So this is 250. You can see my screen vividly, where you would see that we are already on 250. So these are levels in price. But then remember, we're not looking at quarter 100,000, that's 100 pip quarter point. We're looking at what? Disseminating price, all right? We're looking at disseminating price from the 100 pip range. All right, the last time we talked about 1,000 pip range. We're looking at disseminating price from the 100 pip ranges. So how do we do that right now? So we have a quarter point and a quarter point. That's 1,000 quarter points around this level. And remember that a quarter point is the basis of price. That is, we say that each price movement begins at a quarter point, at a large quarter point, and ends at a large quarter point. And these are large quarter points. So since we have a large quarter point programmed already, what do? We are looking for 100 pip range, right? So let's go into detail. Now, what do we do to get in 100 pip range? We look for the 100 levels in price. Now here, remember we have 500 here, and this is 100 level. Remember, 500 is 100 level. It is also a half point of 1,000 pip. Right, can also become a quarter of 1,000 pip, right? So 500 is 100 level. Looking for 100 level, we look for what? 500 and the next 100 level, which is going to be what? 600, right? So we do this. We look for the next 600, since we have 500 here, and then here you go. And this is what? 600 level. We could make that another color. I want to readjust the horizontal line, and I can make it blue. I'll make that blue. Now, this is what we want to do. We want to track this price or simplify this price from the 600 to the 500 level. Now, remember that the 500 and the 600 are all in the what? Are all on the 100 pip range, all right? They are all on the 100 pip range. We're not looking at the 1,000 pip range. We're looking at only 100 pip range in price. You get that? So since the 600 between this 500 and they're going above 600 are all in the 100 pip range, then we would want to decide and narrow price along this level. Okay, so we are trying to divide the quotation of price around this level into 4 equal parts, just like we did on the 1,000 pip range. All right, so we were able to disseminate price, simplify price into 4 equal units. We're still going to do that on the small, on the 100 people range, right? So how do we do that? We divide this price. Firstly, remember the formation or the pattern we used for the 1,000 pip. We're able to first of all get the middle or the half of that price. The price we're looking for, we go for what? The half of it. Okay, so first thing we want to do first is what? Locate the exact half of this price range, of this 100 price range, right? We want to locate the exact half of it. So how do we locate the exact half? Is by knowing what is going to give, what is going to divide this price into 2 equal parts, first of all. So you know from 600 to 500, or you know that 100 ranges has 50 as what? As its exact half. So when you add 50 plus 50, it's going to generate for you automatically 100. You can use your calculator if you're not sure about that. All right. So 50 plus 50 is going to give you 100, and that is a 100 range. So if we divide 50 out of this range, we're going to get the half of it. So we just proceed to be looking for what? 50 area. Now this is 550. That's 550. All right. So if we have 550, 550 plus 50 is going to give us 600. So this is exact half of this price. I'm going to make this another color. Let's say I'm going to make this, let's make it this, right? Now, I have my exact half. Now, can you understand how these levels can also serve as a reliable support and resistance for you on your chart? You see how price came here rejected, giving us a dark cloud, reversal signal, and all of those levels. So price can these levels we're putting on our chart are not just levels; they are strategic zones. They are strategic levels in the financial market. We put them there not just for anything's sake, but we put them there strategically. They are technical analysis. It is better. It is very important you understand how all of this works. You're not just putting them there, you're putting them there for significant reasons, for significant benefits, and they serve you for longer terms, for longer goals. So now you've gotten the half of this price, that is the half of this 100 range. What do? You proceed to getting the quarters below and the quarters above. Is that to understand? Now, just understood, sorry, I beg your pardon. So here now, we should get the quarter point between here, or we can also divide this level instead into another 2 equal parts, right? If we can divide this level into another 2 equal parts, then we are able to get in the quarters. How do we do that? We already have 50. Remember that this area amounts to 50, and then this other area amounts to 50, isn't it? So since we have 50 below and 50 above, we can divide it by what? Looking for the exact half between this level and also this level is what we are going to do. So if you add on your calculator 25 plus 25, it is going to automatically giving you 50. So if 25 subtracted from any of this level is going to turn it half, that means 25 is the half of 50. So we can just quickly locate the half point of this price angle with the price range. So we have 550 and 500. If we can locate 525, we have gotten the exact half, isn't it? Is that making sense? So here now we go. We have 525. I decide to make that another color. Let me decide to make it this. All right. So now we have 525. If you look at this, just eyeball this level from this to this, you would find that, or you would notice, you would observe that this level is equal to this level, just eyeballing it. If you still proceed to using measurement ranges to compare these levels, you would also understand that they are the same level, and also they serve critical zones in the financial market. Look at price here, it dropped here. You see that? Those levels serve as critical juncture in the financial market. Just look at this level, how price rejected all levels around these zones and retraced back down. See that? So we continue, of course, further. So we've gotten the levels below this. We've gotten our levels here. All right. Remember that the goal here is getting what is finally getting or dividing or simplifying the 100 pip area or 100 pip ranges into 4 equal units, and that is what we are committed in doing. So we have been able so far to subdivide or simplify these levels into 2. Okay, so now let's go above it. Since we already figured out that a 250 level here is still going to serve as what? It's served as the half of the 50 level. Similar thing should apply above. All right, since these 2 ranges amounts to 50, that is 25 from this level is still going to give us the exact half. So we still proceed right there to getting the exact half. And what should be the exact half? 575, right? This is going to be the exact half of this. How did we do that? Because we know that 550, right? 7, that is 25. Just by adding 25, all right, or subtracting 25, you can do 600. That's 60 minus 25 is going to give you the next remnant 25. So that 25 becomes the half point of it. If you've noticed, okay, you understand that this reliable support and resistance. You see what price is doing here. You see how this level is preventing price from easily breaking above this level. All right. You see how this price is rejected, is dropping already. And this is how levels, this is how the zones can reject and hold price from easy access, easy breakaway. Right. So this is it on how to further disseminate price, how to further simplify price into its basic units, into its basic terms. Remember, this is HFX, and we capitalize on the small movement in price and use this small movement in price to accelerate our goals. So on this note, we come to an end of this particular section. You better go through this video over and over again as many times as you want, as many times as you have to, all right, to have a basic understanding of what price and how price fluctuates around the financial market. It is very important. It is very important. It is very important. I don't know how to emphasize it for you to understand that it is very important you do. All right. See you on the other end. Bye for now.